everybody? Welcome to the Level Up Podcast. I'm your host, Ricky, and I have a couple guests here with me today. Back again, we have Will, and go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hey, I'm Nathan Duke. I'm the president of the Full Sail Armada, and I'm really happy to be here today. Thank you guys for inviting me on.
No problem, man. Thank you for stopping by.
Okay, so let's first start out by asking you, well, you just said you're the president of Full Sail Armada. What do you do? Like, what is your job for the team?
So, a lot of people think that I'm very involved on the actual competition side of things, which is actually kind of a misconception. Just because of the Armada brand, super based in the competitive side of things. But really what I overdo is I oversee a lot of kind of big, or not necessarily bigger picture things, but it's like event planning, organizing intramural leagues and stuff like that. Whereas the actual competitive teams that are competing intercollegiately on behalf of the school, those are actually being ran and managed by staff members that the school is beginning to flesh out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So how did you get into that? Like, how did you come across doing that?
So it's really kind of a crazy story, and it's a little bit of a long one because there's some detail to it. But so basically, I started here at Full Sail as a game development student in August of 2016, and after 1 month of sitting in my apartment and doing nothing, I decided I needed to get involved. And so I went on the school's club pages and I just started looking at what there was. And there used to be an esports league on campus that it never really took off, but like the framework for it was already there. And so I reached out to the advisor that was listed, and I actually got in contact with the president of that at the time, but he wasn't really doing anything. And so after about a week of not hearing from him, I reached out to the advisor again, and he said, hey, there are some like-minded individuals on campus starting up a club called Cyberland. Just come do that with us, and we'll do competitive stuff as well, because they wanted to focus more on like the casual side of things. And so I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I'm all about it. And so I went over there and I came on as the commissioner. So I oversaw all of our broadcast stuff, and basically was kind of the third wheel to the presidency. Our presidents at the time, the president at the time of that was Brandon C. Morris, and the vice president, Uriah Mora, both very good friends of mine, still work with them a lot. But so after that, the club grew to about, and there was only like 6 of us to start. And so we grew it to about 50 people, and some situations took place. And so Uriah became the president, and I actually moved up into the vice president role. And so from that point, we actually grew Cyberland to, I think it was about 250 members when the school approached us.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, so
a lot of gamers. Yeah,
a lot of gamers here on campus, and a lot of them were begging for a space and an opportunity to meet and interact with other gamers on campus. So we just saw there was a huge demand for it, and so we capitalized and we got a lot of traction. It was about that time that the school actually approached us, Hoyt Dingus, and he's like, look, I just talked to the board of the school, Armada. It's the future. We want to make it official. We want to adopt you guys, and we want to do this right. And so, of course, we were through the roof. We were so excited. And I mean, at this point, the rest is kind of history. It just got more momentums, continued to develop, grow, and get more support.
Did you have any issues with changing the name?
Yeah, so there were a lot of growing pains switching over from Cyberland to Armada, because the way things were being ran were at a club level. And when we officially got adopted and switched over to being an official face of the school, things have to change. Things get a little more white collar. And so there was a lot of processes that we had to start abiding by, and a certain way that we had to structure our meetings and whatnot, and how we wanted to do things. But it's nice because now we've got resources like budgets for gatherings where we're able to buy pizza and drinks for everybody, which is something we had to provide out of our own pockets before.
Yeah, I was wondering who paid for that, but it's from school, right?
Yeah, so the school pays for that.
That's awesome.
Okay, before we move like a little bit further, let me just explain for the listeners who don't know or who aren't keen on gaming what esports is. Esports is basically competitive gaming. So video games that have a competitive edge to it. What would you say, mostly first-person shooters?
There's a lot. There's RPGs. There's first-person shooters. As long as there's a way for one team to win, I feel like they would have a team.
Right.
Like Clash Royale, mobile games have competitive esports.
I actually played that one.
Yeah. It's pretty much just as long as it has like a team-based aspect, there'll probably be an esports team for it.
Okay.
And we're even seeing a lot of sports games developing more as esports recently. I mean, the NBA's got the 2K League. FIFA is getting very official.
Madden has been doing like Madden tournaments for the longest now. 2K has been holding their own tournaments for a long time.
Well, I mean, it was crazy because 2K, like, they, I think, did it one of the most proficient ways out of any esports league I think that I've seen start up. And, like, they actually had a combine and a draft.
Yeah.
Like, which was unheard of at the time for esports. And I think that's a real step in the right direction in the sense of the legitimacy of these franchises and these teams and these rosters, where it's like, these aren't just the guys that have been playing together or were picked out by the team and then qualified. It's like, this guy's just that good. You know, he brought himself here. He made the team.
It's a very competitive sport. And I think a lot of people nowadays would consider it a sport, even if you're not getting out and being active. Normal people can't just sit down and play a game and be like a really good player at it. It takes a lot of time and practice. And just picture like a small Super Bowl, but watching people play video games and hyping them up and cheering them on. It's a big genre nowadays, and I'm glad that it's getting more traction. More esports arenas are being built for hosting different events.
Yeah, are we getting one?
Yeah, you can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, so for those of you listening that don't know, last November, Full Sail actually put out a press release for the Fortress, which is going to be a esports arena here on campus for the Armada. Oh, it's amazing. I believe the school sunk about $6 million into the project. I've already gotten to go through there on some tours with the esports director from UCF, and let me tell you, this arena is something else. It's the largest square footage wise. It's the largest esports arena on a college campus in the U.S., possibly the world. We can't confirm that. I can't confirm that, but
yeah, they have their own practice arenas for the players with up-to-date equipment like PS4s and PCs and Xboxes, I'm sure, and all the different systems where teams can go in and practice with an advisor, I'm sure, to be there to make sure nothing happens. And just a lot of people are excited about this because most people just practice from their own homes. And the energy when you play next to someone in like a LAN setting is a lot more fun and a lot more exciting than just playing online.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Growing up, we had like Modern Warfare 2, and my friends would bring over their Xbox 360s, their flat screens would be in my room. Everybody would plug it up and would just sit there. I remember one time we were playing over the Wi-Fi, and it crashed. Everything crashed. Everybody's Xbox froze. It just froze and shut down. But that experience is
Red Ring of Death, or
no, I think his network just went out.
Yeah, my network just went out. No, I did get Red Ring of Death at least twice with my 360, but it's a really great experience. It just brings a lot of friendship into the mix when you can sit next to somebody and play a game you love. So last episode we talked about Apex. Do you see Apex becoming something that you guys incorporate?
Yeah, so on that, it's like it's hard because we really only want to step into the spaces where there's a collegiate scene for it.
Right.
Because I mean, we're not pro level, and we want to be competing against other universities. And so it's one of those things where until there's a collegiate format for it or a league for us to play in, don't expect anything really beyond intramurals. But with the success that the game has been having and the attention that it's been getting, and how easy it is to assemble a 3-man squad, I think that it's pretty realistic to say that in the near future there's going to be some kind of Apex collegiate league that we could pursue the idea of maybe participating in.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know what collegiate is, it's pretty much college esports, right? It's like, imagine college football or college basketball, but this is their version of esports. It's collegiate esports. It's not like Major League esports, which would be like the national teams and stuff for like football, and basketball, and whatnot. I've had to talk to multiple people at at Armada, because as soon as Apex came out, like, people that aren't part of a team would just ping us on Discord saying like, anyone want to play? Anyone want to play Apex? Anyone want to squad up? And I had to ask Hoyt to make a personal channel because a lot of people were annoyed at just getting pinged about Apex. And I barely even play. I've played it once. And I won.
I play that a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I play it a lot. Yeah.
I've been playing quite
Are
a
you
bit.
part of that Armada Discord?
I'm not.
You need to join.
I'm not.
You need to join.
I probably should.
Oh yeah,
See if
lots
I can
going
get a
down
squad.
in there.
So if you're a Full Sail student, you should talk about how they can get involved with Armada.
Yes.
Who to contact, who to talk to.
If you want to get involved with Armada and you're a student of Full Sail, you can reach out to myself, Hoyt Dingus, or Eric, aka Heavy Cura. All of our information is on the FSO Connect page for Armada.
It'll also be in the description of the video and on the description of our podcast and stuff.
Awesome. But yeah, so anybody has any questions or wants to join, just reach out to us through there. We can get you plugged into the Discord and we can let you know when our next events are. We'd love to have you out.
Sounds good. Okay, so you said only certain games are at the collegiate level right now. What games or what knowledge do they need to have if they want to join?
Yeah, how would they go about joining a team and what teams are available right now for Armada?
Okay, so I may forget some or get some wrong because right now, if I'm correct, I think we have like 16 teams across 11 games. We've got Fortnite, PUBG, League of Legends, Hearthstone, Rocket League,
Smash,
Super Smash Brothers, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's Heavy Kuros. That's our VPs.
He always brings like a big gamepad, and people just play. They have like small tournaments and stuff, and they just play together. It's super fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I mean, for anyone that's a fan of the show, it's just high intensity and fun to watch.
Yeah, people screaming, people raging during the tournaments. They give out like small like pop Funko like little prizes at the end of the tournaments too. Whoever wins too, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's really cool because we're also a TESPA chapter. Meaning TESPA is the collegiate esports organization that's ran through Blizzard. And so they send us out a lot of cool supply drops and stuff for our monthly gatherings, like prizes and stuff to give away to, give back to the community.
So you guys play Overwatch too?
Oh, yeah, we play Overwatch as well.
Overwatch, Rocket League, Heroes of the Storm, a lot of stuff with TESPA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next thing I want to talk about is with you run another organization, right? Or you're the head
of so I'm the head of esports production for a esports company called 2050 Esports. And so that's actually started from the bottom story as well, because I actually got involved with 2050 through Cyberland and Armada. So it's just crazy the opportunity that I've had there. But so basically what happened is when we were still Cyberland, we started doing some tournaments and stuff on campus, and I was setting up broadcasts for them, so people that couldn't come out could watch and attend from home, and there'd be footage and stuff that we could upload later. And so my current boss and the CEO of 2050 Esports, Heath Jones, he saw these broadcasts that we were putting out. And so he actually reached out to the school, got in touch with the advisor for Cyberland, and therefore got in touch with me. And so next thing I knew, I'm sitting down at a Starbucks having an interview with this guy, and a couple weeks later, we're setting up a broadcast in the living room of my apartment. And I mean, now we've developed all the way to the point where we've got our own studio in Daytona Beach. Awesome. We're partnered with the Daytona International Speedway. We're developing product lines and adding new games to our rotation of tournaments. It's really been surreal how fast everything's been able to develop and come along.
Yeah, you throughout all these stories and talks, you seem like you've been really successful. Do you have any tips for anyone who wants to do something like you or wants to start their own brand, start their own esports thing? Do you have any tips for them? Yeah,
so my first tip for it is, one, you got to be honest with yourself. It's a lot of work to try to build something and to really commit your time. So you've got to commit to it. You've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to commit. You can't tiptoe around it. Also, time management is a huge thing, because it's like I'm a full-time show production student. I'm the president of Armada, and I'm the head of production for this company. So I've got a very full plate. So I'm constantly trying to manage and move around my schedule just so I can make everything work. So another tip is don't put too much on your plate, and know what you're capable of handling. Because if you put too much on your plate immediately, you're going to sink your ship before you leave the harbor.
Yeah, definitely.
And another thing that I kind of took away from your whole thing is networking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Networking it plays a big role, because if you don't put yourself out there and you don't kind of throw yourself into the fire, it'll never be forged into anything really. You're just kind of like...
Yeah, a lot of the teachers and staff really grill networking into our heads, and it's for a good reason. People tend to get annoyed with it, but they don't understand the fact that it's so important. Like, you just proved that working with your friends, even from a small 10 people club that they made, can really grow and flourish to what it is today. Yeah. So networking with people that are like-minded and have the same skill sets and same dreams as you is really important.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that's important to network with people that aren't like-minded.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because I know personally there have been a lot of times, because esports is still a relatively young industry. It's been around for a while, but in the limelight, it's pretty young. Mm-hmm. And so I encounter people daily that have been in the production industry for longer than I've been alive. And they've got questions for me about esports, because it's this whole new thing that's just getting to their level, and they're trying to understand it. And so it's really good for me when I network with those people, because sure, they've got a ton they can teach me on the production side, but I've got a lot I can teach them on the esports side. Yeah, and so there's a lot of good give and take there.
That's the same with every company. Mm-hmm. Everyone has to have their own skill sets, and they just bounce off each other, and you need to find people you're good with, and it just works that way. Finding people to work with is really important.
The thing I like, and the same will go for podcasting, is that once something starts to break out, like something starts to take off, it's kind of it's good to get into that pretty early, because esports is taking off, and it seems like you got into esports right when it was about to blow up, and now that it's blown up, it's just there's nothing but opportunity at your front door. Mm-hmm. Same with this whole podcast thing. Podcasting is starting to blow up. We're doing this podcast. Hopefully we catch it in time for it to definitely. Blow up in the future. They say that radio's not going to be anymore. Everything's going to be either podcast or some type of streaming. So hopefully this will do the same thing. But I think that's really cool. I just like that whole catch it before it leaves aspect.
The thing is about podcasts, even if at the start we don't have a huge fan base or anything, it's fun. I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, even if only a couple people are going to hear it. It shows that with determination and stuff, you can definitely push it to where it's really great. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm learning a lot from each other. I'm learning a lot from all this equipment and setup, and I'm sure it's going to grow really good. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Man. Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for that.
It's something else I kind of want to chime in there with as a tip for those listening is it's opportunity comes and goes in the blink of an eye.
Yes.
There's plenty of times where you're going to have opportunity in front of you, but you've definitely, like I said earlier, you got to be honest with yourself. And when an opportunity presents itself that you're passionate about and that you care about and you have drive for, you've got to commit and you've got to take that opportunity, because that could grow into something huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Little did I know that when I went to go meet this guy at Starbucks to talk about the small little nothing special broadcast I did for Cyberland, little did I know that it was going to lead to this position I'm in now as the head of production for this company and all this other stuff that's come with it. So, when you have opportunities like that, take them, even if it feels like it's a stretch sometimes.
So with that being said, let's talk more about what you do with streaming, because I know you stream a lot and you play games. What games you enjoy, what games you stream, and then you can show us some pictures of your setup and stuff, because I know people love seeing video game setups. I know I do. Streaming setups are insane.
Oh yeah, and with how much money I've put into it, I love showing people.
Yeah, it's a bragging right at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. But so on the streaming side, I've actually, with so much on my plate, I actually have not been streaming as much as I'd want to, which makes me sad. But I hope to get back into it soon. Probably the games that I'd be streaming the most of, Apex. Obviously, it's a lot of fun to play. It's hot and trendy right now.
Right.
Fuck Apex. No, I'm just kidding.
I used to be a competitive first-person shooter player, so I've got good aim. I get wins. It's a lot of fun.
I need to get like you, bro, because I'm okay at first person shooters. I'd say I'm not terrible and I'm not like bad, but I'm not like super fucking good to the point where it's just like, yeah, dude, I'll win every fucking match I get in.
Dude, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just laughing at that. When I watched the first podcast, how Mina introduced himself, like
Big Dick Mina.
That's funny.
Okay, anyway, keep going.
But yeah, so Apex is a lot of fun. It's crazy because it's like, I think my kill record right now for squad kills is 21. I dropped 10, I think.
21.
But it's a lot of fun. It's a fast-paced game. I enjoy it a lot. I've been playing a lot of Rocket League too.
I miss
Rocket League.
Yes.
I miss it.
It's so much fun.
I need to get it. I had it when I had my Xbox. Before I was a Sony guy, I was Microsoft all the way. Had my Xbox One.
I forget PS4 is run by Sony.
Yeah.
All the time I forget. Because I'm used to with like Sony products, they have their logo when it starts up.
Yeah.
But with PS4, it's just like PS4.
Yeah. Oh, it's because it's such an established brand.
Yeah.
It's so established.
But I played Rocket League a lot when I had my Xbox. And I played a lot with people, like my friends and stuff. But then I switched over to PlayStation, and it's not free.
Well, there's cross-platform play right now. It just came out, so you can play with your friends on Xbox.
Yeah,
and
but it's
on
not
Switch.
free. It was free for me on Xbox.
Spend the money, man.
Well, how is it free for you on Xbox? You're not paying for gold or live?
What do you mean?
Was it like a?
No. So like because at first it wasn't on Xbox. It was like PC and PlayStation, and then it came to Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So when it came to Xbox, they gave it to us for free. Like when it dropped on Xbox, it was like, here, download it for free.
I think it was at the same time that happened that they had the PlayStation Plus deal where it was free.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was around the same time period. Because that's when they got really popular.
Yeah, they were really trying to drive the numbers on it. Because, I mean, it was when it was originally coming out, what was it? It was Super
Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars.
Yeah.
What?
That's a big name.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, so they shortened it.
You know what that reminds me of? You ever heard of the Super Hyper Monkey Force?
Shit?
I've heard of it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, big titles are catchy. They're catchy.
Yeah, they're catchy.
You know that game with the cars that has like the long name? Yeah, Super whatever. Yeah, it's so much fun.
But they changed it to Rocket League, and it's doing better now.
Obviously. With Rocket League, I'm the captain of the JV Rocket League for Armada, and we have a collegiate LAN tournament that we're invited to tomorrow.
Go ahead and get that shameless plug. I see.
No, not shameless plug.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be at Florida Polytechnic.
No, my brain just was like, oh, this is gonna totally show off when we recorded this, because like people don't like to like show like when they recorded it for like professional issues. It's like, oh yeah, just totally dating our podcast. But yeah, it sounds like
exposed.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to do more stuff like that because we get to me and. So right now, half the teams of each JV and varsity couldn't make it, so we combined both teams. So it's gonna be a shit show because like half of the team's like amazing and half the team's like okay, and then there's me that's like okay/shit. So it should be fun.
So I wanted to get into like the whole streaming thing, but me personally, I don't think I'm that good at any video game to like go in here and stream. And
that's what streaming's for, though.
So like. What I was thinking, I was like, all right, dude, you know how people like stream and they're like super sweaty, they're like super good? I'm gonna just stream and be super basic.
Dude, I love, and other people love watching people stream and be shit at the game because it's funny. And you improve, and people are there to support you, like, oh my god, Poggers, you just got like a triple kill finally.
Yeah, like, do you guys know who Courage JD is?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't.
So
he streams with Ninja and Tim the Time Man, and basically I do work and stuff like that.
Yeah, but so it's great. His story is awesome. I'm a huge fan of his. I love his work ethic and his grind. He's inspired me a lot. But so back in Black Ops, or I think Advanced Warfare is when he began his casting career for Call of Duty. So he's a broadcaster. So he's color commentary, play-by-play stuff. And during Black Ops 3, he started doing something to practice, and he'd set up a lobby with nothing but bots. And then he'd commentate the bots, and it'd be hilarious because the bots aren't good.
That's fucking hilarious.
And so they'd be like running off the map, emptying clips and not hitting a shot, and he'd just be commentating the whole thing, and it was hilarious. And so he started his YouTube channel doing that, and then next thing you know, he started playing, and because he's a commentator, he's spending all this time around the pros. He's playing with the pros, and so all of a sudden he goes from being at the game.
He's pretty good,
to
yeah.
being able to hang with pros.
Yeah.
And so he's blown up, and now he actually dropped being a caster for Call of Duty to go streaming full time.
Yeah, that reminds me of a channel I watch like aggressively. It's pretty on the nose. It's called it's like Jelly's Marble Olympics or something, and he literally like broadcasts marble events. He has like different racetracks,
marble events,
and he makes I've seen those.
Yeah, so because it's all random, he gives them personalities. It's like, oh, here comes the Ruby Roses and stuff. It's just like, it's a lot of fun to watch. It's really funny.
I will say that the whole like the more you practice, the better you get thing is real. Mm-hmm. Because Apex, I started out and I would like die as soon as I landed. I've been playing for like 2 weeks now, and 2.5 weeks or whatever, however long it's been out. And right now, my record, I'm at 125 kills.
Yikes!
And I at least end the game, like say I die or whatever, and I don't make it to the final 3 squads or some bullshit like that, I end the game with at least 3 kills.
Nice. So you're taking at least a squad with you.
So like with me, I feel like that's great because like I started out not even getting any damage done to anybody, and now I'm getting to the point where it's like 3 kills, and I'm out here reviving my teammates, and I'm not the one like carrying my team back. You know, it's just like, so it's really cool. And I was like, we got a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah, we got a minute.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm gonna keep that too.
Hell yeah. Keep it in.
I'm gonna keep that. But yeah, you know, practice makes perfect. Well, I wouldn't say perfect because not anything's perfect.
But for sure, improvement.
Yeah.
And you know, you got to feel proud about that when you start doing better at something, regardless of what it is.
Because I used to get shit talked about people on the game. You
it's
know?
Fun, dude. I miss the shit talking days.
They'd be like, "Who is this dude? Like, he's always dying." And then now it's just like, "Oh, dude, like, appreciate the revive and all this other shit."
I love watching compilations of old like PS3 and Xbox 360 like rage chats and Call of Duty, just like talking shit to like random people's.
I was one of those.
Dude, Nick Merckx.
Merck Music?
Huh?
Nick Merck Music.
No, Nick Merckx.
Okay.
He's a streamer.
Okay.
There was a video that came out of him and Ninja actually, like big beef from like the old school Halo days. Because a lot of people forget that like Ninja blew up for Fortnite, but so many people forget that he was a Halo pro before that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so
I had no idea.
He was a professional Halo player before that, which is what Nick Merckx played too. And so Nick Merckx, just picture he's like 6'2", wall of muscle, does not look like a gamer. This dude's jacked. And then you got skinny little Ninja. And like Ninja was making him so mad. Like it was your classic like
That's
360 live trash talking.
That's hilarious. So let's shameless plug. Where can people contact you, follow you, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so my main platform is Twitter. You can follow me at It's Ya Boy Pride. Or just Ya Boy Pride. So YABOI Pride. You'll find me. I stream on Twitch, same thing, Ya Boy Pride. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, and that's how you'll get in contact with him if you're a Full Sail student and you're interested in Armada. It's probably the best way to get in contact with him.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget our FSO pages or the Discord. And if you need the invite to the Discord, reach out to me through FSO or any of my other outlets. I'm always happy to talk.
Yeah, and
sounds good.
And me and Ricky's info will be in the description as well. You've already heard it from previous podcasts. So Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, same with you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's it. I think that's good. We're out.
That's good.
Awesome.
See you guys next week.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, man.
No problem.
We did this shit again.
We always do that. We're always like cutting it, and then we're like, oh yeah, we gotta say thank you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right. See you guys next week.